It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
That's right, it's here, the official start of the new NBA season. I'm Ernie Johnson, excited to be here once again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith for another go-around. Tonight we'll be watching the Utah Jazz playing against the Pistons in Detroit. Well, for Detroit, they got their season rolling with a nice win in their first game. Now we'll find out if they can build on it and open with back-to-back victories. Well, we're just getting started with the Stan Van Gundy rebuild in Detroit. He's got full control and will start to build the roster to his liking. Shaq, you played for him for a while. How do you see him shaking things up in Detroit?
You know, he's a pretty good X&O man, very focused guy. So he's going to focus on players who can hit the three and spread the floor on offense. He'll also look to get players who are solid defensively. I just hope they can keep up with the, come on, get back on defense, what are you doing?
Oh, that's Van Gundy. I thought he was in the building, man. You're a great imitator of people, man. But, you know, he had a lot of success with one big man down in Orlando with that spread offense.
Don't you say it.
Okay, with Dwight Howard, not Superman, but the ingredients are there for Detroit. And they, you know, drafted the young kid, Stanley Johnson, so we'll see what happens.
That is all the time we have right now. But we will be back later, I promise.
Come on, Ernie.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke on our sideline. The fans here in Detroit ready to cheer on their Pistons in this interconference matchup. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Utah. They took the loss in this East versus West matchup during the regular season last year, dropping both games.
And in their two matchups last season, they came up empty both times. Not really too shocking when you see how they fared overall.
Exactly. I mean, when you lose as much as they did last year, you'll get beat by teams that aren't playoff powers for sure.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for Utah, the forwards are Hayward and Favors. Pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. And it's Gobert in at the center position. And, you know, Gordon Hayward was involved in one of the more fascinating NBA draft stories. It started after his father confirmed that Gordon would submit his name to the draft but would not immediately hire an agent.
Yeah, reportedly, Dad created a highly detailed two-page questionnaire that he gave prospective agents, which is not something that's typical. He's hit the ground running here in the first, putting together a nice quarter offensively.
Hayward's gone 2 of 3 from the field. Freak kicks to Jackson. Fires the three, and he gets it to go. Jackson's got himself on the board with 3 there.
He's got so much junk in his trunk, he'll find a way to hurt you.
Dishes to Gobert. Here's Burks, and it's blocked. Here's Caldwell Pope, and off the front iron, and in it goes. Caldwell Pope's got his first points of the game. The Jazz have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Burke dishes to Gobert. Now Burke, and the pass to Burks. That one falls coming off Burke's feet.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Utah's on defense. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
A short time ago, Quinn Snyder and I were able to chat. Coach said that even though this is the first meeting of the year, he didn't expect there to be much of a feeling out period between the teams. He said, listen, we have a group of guys that can all score and do it in a hurry. I expect us to come right at them and test their defense early on. They'll definitely be on the attack, guys.
Okay, Doris, thanks. So they'll be focusing first and foremost on their offense today, guys.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm sure they're not going to ignore their duties at the defensive end, but getting their offense rolling has to be a main concern.
And I think that's exactly the focus. I mean, if they operate as efficiently as they're capable of, defense really won't be as much of an issue because they'll have so many points on the board.
Here's Caldwell Pope. Offline with his three. Well, what a second half of the season it was for the Jazz. After the All-Star break, they went on a rampage.
And the catalyst for that was the defense. I mean, very few opponents got to triple digits against the Jazz after the All-Star break.
Here's Freak after the basket by Utah. Here's Drummond. Gobert with the block. Now, here's Burks. T right on him. A shot by Hayward. Wide open. Hayward missing again.
And for the Jazz and their defense post-All-Star break, it helped them in their big second-half run. How about a 422 field goal percentage against after the break?
Here's Burke following the score by Reggie Jackson. Gobert the pass to Hayward. Lets it go from 11, and he hits the jump shot. Hayward's got 8 points.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
And, you know, you were talking about the field goal percentage against for the Jazz. It was the 3rd best in the league after the All-Star break. That's field goal percentage defense. They allowed the fewest points in the NBA after the break as well.
Utah with the ball after the basket by Detroit. And Burke has it in the corner. Shot clock at 6. Here's Gobert. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Gobert's got his second bucket.
That was the 3rd straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical. Be more aggressive.
The game's just far too easy right now when it comes to attacking the basket. They have got to do better.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Jazz. Just a bit of an up and down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant lulls.
And, you know, those giant lulls were a big part of the Pistons season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense.
Comes in for Andre Drummond, and Marcus Morris subbed in for Jackson. A different look for Utah. 1:35 left to play. So for the Pistons, they get it back. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident. And the Pistons also went into a slump after they traded for Reggie Jackson. 1-9 after the trade deadline. They would end the season on a better note, but truly they were streaky last season.
Misses from short range.
That's what we call good defense in the paint, worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
For the Detroit Pistons, they won their last contest, that game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And even in hostile territory, as they were that day, they had no jitters at all. I mean, the confidence kept growing as the shots kept falling.
And they were falling big time. I mean, from the top to the bottom of that roster, everybody was locked, loaded, and spraying jumpers.
Fans had a hard time finding their way to the stadium last season for the Pistons at the bottom in several home attendance categories last year.
Yeah, that's right in Auburn Hills. I mean, they used to go a lot when they were winning championships. But to be fair to those fans, it was hard at times to watch the Pistons play. I mean, they could get cold and really struggle on their home floor.
Now, here's Exum. Here's the screen. Feeds to Withy. Will it go? And it's Freak with the rebound. Pistons leading by 4. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Booker. Here's Exum. Rebound, Detroit. with 4 seconds on the clock.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Pistons ahead as they end the first quarter with a... And Derek Favors known for his work ethic, and he talked about his focus on developing his skills.
I just want to get better. I just want to keep improving as a...
Well, the desire is there, and sounds like the commitment that he's showing is to how far, Greg, you think he can go?
Well, you talk about desire and commitment, and then you throw in the fact that he has the talent that can be built upon and improved. One big factor will be injuries. That's the big X factor that determines so many more careers than desire. Talent and commitment, you need to stay on the court.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and, you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
We've got Aaron Baines, Anthony Tolliver out there with Johnson. And it's Steve Blake, and it's Dinwiddie in at shooting guard. They're the group Detroit will start the second with.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job. Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
And here is Blake. This one for 3. His first shot is a miss. 0 for 1 to start the contest. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
And one thing about Gordon Hayward, he's an excellent playmaker for a small forward. Averaged over 4 assists a game after averaging over 5 the year before. So you've got to love a scorer who is also unselfish.
There you go, fans. Your Pistons dancers.
Detroit leading by 4. Blake with it. Burt grabs the miss. Getting back to Hayward, the one area where you'd like to see him improve, taking care of the basketball. Averages nearly 3 turnovers a game the past couple of years.
And, Kevin, he's made a concerted effort to be more aggressive on offense while being more efficient as well. So he's got to balance those two, aggression and efficiency.
Jacks up a 3. They grab their own miss, and he gets it to go. 6 points for Rudy Gobert.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Now the dish to Blake. There's the pick. The 3. Favors with the rebound. Favors got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Pass to Hayward. Takes a 3. And yes, sir, that one drops. Hayward's got 11.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Pass to Dinwiddie. There's the triple. Good. And the assist goes to Blake. Dinwiddie's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Utah trailing here. Utah calls timeout. Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
That's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs if they were in the East.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Quinn Snyder was saying to his team. Hayward was the focus of the discussion, and he wants their offense to run through him. Coach reminded them that he is supposed to be the key factor tonight, and he still wants to see that happen. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
Always great to hear from you, Doris.
And, you know, for the Jazz, you mentioned their post-All-Star break surge. I mean, that 19-10 record they had after the break was good enough for 6th best in the league.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
And really, the Jazz were a team nobody wanted to play after the break. They were over 500 against the rest of the West and had some big wins over playoff teams in the process.
And it's Utah's ball. They're on a 15-5 run here. Gobert, the screen. Over to the wing. Here's Burks. And the three off target.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Jackson gets the bucket.
Obviously, a mix-up defensively on that possession.
Utah's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range. In the second, not a whole lot dropping out there for them. From deep. But they recover it. Gobert, and it's good. Fought through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
The Jazz making a switch here. Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Favors. Joe Ingles comes in for Gordon Hayward. Hood's checked in for Brooks. And it's Dante Exum in for Trey Burke. That drops. 6 points for Freak. Utah leading. Here's Exum. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Gobert, the screen. Here's Ingles. Shoots off the screen. Here's Booker. Makes it off the glass. Booker's got his second basket.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividend.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Ilyasova. Here's Freak. Booker pulls it in. Utah leading by 3. There's the feed to Hood. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. The Jazz have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2. And the free throw no good, but they'll get the ball back here.
And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
The Jazz making a switch here. Withy's checked in. Detroit's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Jackson misses.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one. Short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Exum with it. Guarded now by Morris. The offensive rebound. Here's Hood. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's Booker. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. Bullock. And that's not going to go. And the first half comes to a conclusion.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Gordon Hayward wasting no time getting hot. He had 13 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. And, Kenny, what'd you see out there from the Jazz?
Well, they committed to pounding the ball inside, and they were rewarded for it. Points in the paint, those kept the defense honest because teams have gotten really good at running the three-point shooters off the line, so getting it inside was a good attack in the first half.
And, Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
Well, they had a strong perimeter game. See, Ernie, when this team executes from long range, those weapons spread out of defense. Coming out of the second half, if those shooters are hot, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Really an incredible game from Gordon Hayward.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, He is taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
And so in the game for the Jazz, Favors and Gobert are the shot-blocking duo inside. Burke's the off guard with Hayward at the 3. And it's Burke in at the 1. Here's Caldwell Pope. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Nice shot by Gobert.
All of the scoring in tight is coming at that end of the court.
You know, they found the holes in the defense and really doing a great job of exploiting them.
Here's Caldwell Pope, and easy 2 points on the layup. Caldwell Pope's got 15.
Wow, and how huge has he been today? Really just giving his team a nice lift.
Yeah, and he's kept them close enough to be within striking range. I mean, the deficit would be much larger if not for the efficiency of his play.
And there's the foul. It goes on Ilyasova. That's foul number 2 for him.
A lot of NBA teams have been outright buying developmental league teams. I mean, the Jazz did that last season. They purchased the Idaho Stampede last March, and we see more and more of that happening. One-on-one affiliations between D-League teams and NBA teams.
Favors with the screen. There's a good screen. Here's Burks. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And, Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Pistons trail by 7. Well, last year the Jazz acquired the Stampede from the D-League. That makes sense. They'll have a designated place now to develop, Greg, all their young talent.
And Kevin, it's really a key for the Jazz to have those extra minutes available for all those young talents to get an opportunity to get confidence, but also to learn your system. I think more and more NBA teams will follow this route of buying D-League teams.
And both free throws good from Freak.
Some really terrific numbers for Freak. He has 8 points and 8 dimes.
You know what? He's getting to the line. He's passing. He's really just converting in both those areas. He has been money.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really old school basketball, and you know how that is. Certain parts of the game never go out of style. They're always relevant, and he's excelled in those areas today.
Utah leading by 5. Burke kicks to Burks. No good from outside. For Detroit, they've gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Now here's Freak. He's got 8. He kicks it to Jackson. For the 3. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5-for-8 night shooting.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. The Pistons have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. You know, Clark, the thing you like about Derek Favors is he keeps adding to his game every year. You forget how young he is, too.
That's exactly right. We need a reminder. This guy came into the league very early, right after a year of college. Seems like he's been around forever.
Shot from free throw range. Burke can't get it to go. Detroit's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the 3-point shot tonight. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
And Hayward gets it to go.
And for Favors and his youth, he has made big strides. And in a few years' time, could be one of the more dominant bigs in our league.
And now Hayward pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Finished off the break. Hayward's got 18 points.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
Pass to Drummond. It's tipped. It's stolen by Gobert. Now here's Burks, guarded by Jackson. Hayward goes in, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there.
And guys, with Favors, his development, you forget. Sometimes it takes big men a little longer to figure it out. I mean, he's certainly been putting it together here the last few seasons.
So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Jeff Withy, he's checked in for Gobert. Trevor Booker comes in for Derek Favors. Hood's checked in for Alec Burks. And it's Exum in for Burke. Jackson has the open look. Buries the long-range jumper. Jackson's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for Detroit. There's 1:38 left here in the third quarter. That's good. Withy's got his first basket of the night. Pistons trail by 4. Now, Freak, 8 points for him. And he bangs it home with one hand. And he's now got the double-double. 10 points and 12 assists.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
You're exactly right. I mean, so often when a team gets that kind of explosive play out of its backcourt, that can really rally and galvanize the whole squad.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Caldwell Pope's got it all tied up now for the Pistons. Utah's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's Booker, and it's sent back by Drummond. And let's go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that blocked the most shots in the NBA last year. In third, the Jazz.
A big part of their defense really revolved around their ability to block shots at the rim. It's so valuable to have that kind of backline protection. Allows you to be aggressive on the perimeter. And Utah might not have finished 500 on the season, but they did finish 500 against the Eastern Conference. Went 15-15 last season.
And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there. And Utah with a change here, too. Ingles is checked in. 14 feet away. And there's Morris. That's good on the assist by Blake.
And now this game's taken on a whole new feel since halftime.
Oh, you can actually feel it. It's palpable. The energy level on both sides has really gone up a bunch.
And here's Exum. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's Johnson. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Pistons lead by 2.
Hard to imagine them losing this game if they can keep shooting like that.
Not many empty trips for this group. It seems everything's falling for them this half.
And Clark, as we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, exactly right, Kevin. I mean, these teams just simply keep trading baskets and as a result, trading the lead.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
And as we finish the third quarter, it's still close. Both teams trading baskets. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Utah shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. Andre Drummond is out there with Ilyasova. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Freak in at the point. That's the group for Detroit right now. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That's on Dante Exum.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off. Boy, I tell you, I thought the Jazz had a big year last season. Looked much tougher than before. A big part of that is how Coach Quinn Snyder helped the team grow. I mean, he looked like a perfect fit in his first year with the franchise.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Booker. And it's Burke in for Dante Exum. Clock at 6. Burks can't get it to go.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just one in the first.
And Caldwell-Pope gets the basket. You were mentioning the Jazz, and they grew last year under Coach Quinn Snyder in his first year. You know, Greg, he did the same thing with teams when he was a coach in the D-League.
That's a great point, Kevin. And beyond the growth that the Jazz showed, I think everyone in Utah was pleased with the style of play. I mean, Coach Snyder's got the team back to playing hard defense and really grinding out wins.
Favors sets the pick for Burke. He dishes it to Favors. No luck. And Detroit the other way now. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. Such a wide open look. And now a 7-point Detroit lead.
And they've done some nice work as we've come down the stretch here in the final quarter.
Greg, you can feel the sense of urgency they have to get this thing closed out as soon as possible.
Favors with a screen on Jackson. Burks' shot is good.
He had one in the first as well. He can be dangerous. Keep an eye on it.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Boy, for Alec Burks, he really started to put it all together in his third season. He doubled his scoring average, shooting percentage was up. Then last season, a strong start, but a shoulder injury cut short what I thought was going to be his best season yet.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
Burke kicks to Hayward. Rebound by the Pistons. Ilyasova's got 6 rebounds here tonight. And back to Alec Burks, a guy who entered the league with raw talent, but once the light went on, Greg, he showed the ability to help his team in a number of ways.
Yeah, he's going to be the prototype in terms of a two-way player. He's a guy who can not only score it for you, but he'll rebound and defend it. But what impressed me last season is he averaged 3 assists a game, really looked to make plays for his teammates.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Uncovered. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut down to 7. Good work from Burke. Detroit's gone 7 of 11 from deep tonight, using the three-pointer to their advantage. There's Freak. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. And even 3-on-3 break. Hayward can't hit.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Jackson misses.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Burke with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Burke kicks to Burks. That one falls, coming off Burke's feet. Burke's got 6 assists now in the game.
And he's finally getting the feel from beyond. His second 3 of the half right there.
Now here's Freak. Burke covering. Freak dishes to Drummond. On the wing, Jackson. Detroit, no good that time either. Jazz trail by 4. Here's Burks. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Burks has got 12 points here in the second half. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Freak passes to Jackson. Kicks to Freak. It's tipped. And here we go. Fast break. Burks got it. That ties the game. Burks has got 10 points now just in this quarter. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Jazz.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, their second chance points have been a story all night as well. That's just pure effort and hustle.
And Derek Favors with the slam.
And really, he's just done a great job of finding the open man every trip down.
Boy, it sure has seemed as though he's done it every time. It's been an awesome display of passing for him today.
No one near Drummond as he lets it go. That's short off the rim.
I tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
And Hayward gets it to go on the assist by Burks. And it's a 4-point Utah lead.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're trailing by 4. 1:12 left in the game. Drummond the screen. It's Jackson with the drive. It falls for basket number 9 from the field. He's taken 14 shots to get there.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
And the Jazz call time here. They're up by 2. We've got 1:08 left in the fourth quarter. We've got 1:08 left in the fourth. Out of hand on it. Now Detroit moving it up. Jackson's got the ball, and Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
Great hustle to turn the block shot into a fast break hoop. That's a big-time play.
Utah calls timeout. Now here's Burke. He's tightly guarded. The layup missed. For Detroit, they've got more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 12. Here's Jackson. Good!
What a bucket at one of the more crucial moments of the game.
How about the cool, collected way in which he delivered it? Clutch!
Here's Burke. He feeds it to Favors. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Jackson. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Really an extraordinary game for Jackson. 25 points. You talk about the three ball for him? Wow, unbelievable from long distance.
Clark, there have been some fireworks from deep today. Boy, he is just dangerous out there.
Outstanding work at the foul line to make this a 2-possession game.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. So they foul intentionally. He drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And that will add to a healthy lead after that trip to the free throw line.
Utah calls timeout. They trail by 6. There's 25 seconds left in the game. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They grab their own miss. Favors. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. No luck that time either. Here are the Pistons with the ball. They've scored 10 straight, and that's an intentional foul.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
Guys, a comeback probably not in the cards at this point.
Yeah, unless something dramatic and drastic occurs.
Yeah, I think you can put a fork in it.
Hood can't get it to go. Freak with it. From deep. Off target. And so the Pistons take the win. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
Well, you know, it makes a big difference. I mean, you never felt like they had any doubt that they'd come out on top.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is
the 2K Sports post-game show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson joined by Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Now let's take this opportunity to check out our Jordan Player of the Game.
He was an artist with the basketball tonight, guys. Just a ridiculous amount of assists for him in this game. The way he moved the ball around the court, making sure everyone had their hand in the offense, was superb. That's how you play the point in this league, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, they defended him very aggressively tonight, and he turned that against him. Boy, he got himself to the foul line about 100 times tonight. I'm tired of watching people shoot free throws.
And, folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille
the 2K Sports pregame show.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Welcome, everyone, to this 2K Sports Broadcast live from the capital city of California, Sacramento. Well, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they won their last contest, that game against Portland. And they finished that one out up 4. Competitive, but ultimately they prevailed.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was very impressed, Greg, with the way they stood their ground, even when they were on their heels some, coming through those moments where they were backing up a bit. That's what it takes on the road. You've got to show that kind of fortitude and resilience.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. So for Oklahoma City right now, inside you've got Ibaka and Kanter. Russell Westbrook out there with Payne, and it's Eustace in at the small forward position. Expanding his range. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. And it's the Kings with the ball. 6-point game. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way. And that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
No, there was no hard way about it. I mean, they got their points easily on dunks and layups against the defense that really didn't offer much of a fight.
And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City.
Let's hear it for your Sacramento Kings dance team. Make some noise. Let's hear it for your Sacramento Kings dance team.
For 3, Westbrook. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
What a 3 at the horn as they end the quarter on a high note.
Couldn't agree more. That'll give them a nice little lift.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Thunder out in front, up by 7. Live from Sacramento, you're watching 2K Sports. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the youngest of 18 children back in New Zealand. Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, got him outside of himself and toughened him up a little bit. No question about that. Wow, 18, that's mind-boggling.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade as there is more basketball in store. What do you guys think about the Thunder here in this one?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another, as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
Taking a look at the Thunder, the rugged duo of Ibaka and Adams in the middle. Westbrook the point with Waiters at the 2, and it's Eustace in at the small 4.
And that gets him going here in the second after hitting 2 from long range in that first.
Collison against Westbrook, shoots the 3, And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Darren Collison.
And the crowd is loving this long-range bomb attack that we're seeing here tonight, coming right back to answer a three with one of their own.
Unbelievable couple of possessions here, Greg. I mean, the energy in here really starting to boil.
And Westbrook gets it to go.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
And so we conclude the first.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Oklahoma City has the edge here at halftime. They have an 8-point lead. Shaq, give me your take.
Well, the perimeter shooting is the reason they're ahead. I think we'll probably see more of that in the second half, especially if they can stay hot. Man, that's so hot. I got to take my suit off.
And Kenny, what'd you see from Sacramento?
Can this team please get fired up on defense? I mean, get angry, get upset. Guys are way too soft and giving up way too many good looks. At some point, you got to draw the line in the sand. Be like, okay, who's crossing this line? If you're coming over here, I'm taking a hard foul, and I'm going to resist you on defense.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report, as it's just a...
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game. He has been everywhere.
Boy, did he put on a show from beyond in that first half. Let's see if the halftime break has any cooling effect on him.
Well, I tell you what, we'll soon find out, because I guarantee they're going to keep feeding it to him behind the arc until he does cool off.
McLemore and Gay on the perimeter. Quincy Acey out there with DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Rondo in at the 1 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was 1 step late that time, Greg.
Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Sacramento. Caspi comes in for Rudy Gay. And then for Oklahoma City, Nick Collison's checked in for Ibaka. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Augustine with the steal. Here's Eustace, guarded by McLemore. Trying his luck deep, and the Thunder another 3.
Guys, it's over. I think we can say that now with certainty.
I'm with you. I mean, we'd like to officially welcome everybody to garbage time.
And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Out of bounds, Sacramento takes possession.
You always want a player to have his head up and to be surveying the court, but not if that's going to be the result.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits.
All right, Sacramento, please welcome.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the 4th.
Sacramento Kings dance team.
And here's Westbrook. It's taken away by Collison.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for the Thunder.
The sheer volume of 3-pointers was the deciding factor tonight, it seems.
Yeah, they sink one, Kevin, and then they do it again. It worked.
And this team, obviously one of the elite teams. They have played with heart and passion for the game all season long, and the wins for them just keep rolling along. And tonight, it'll make win number 63.
And on the season, this is going to be their 3rd win in 4 games against this team.
And you could see, Greg, how badly they wanted this win. For 2 very familiar opponents, a win in the season series really carries an awful lot of extra weight.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Westbrook. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
So the Thunder 5 right now. Inside, you've got Ibaka and Cannon. Payne out there with Russell Westbrook. And it's Eustace in at the 3 spot. Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Quincy Acey's checked in for Cousins. Butler comes in for Rudy Gay. And it's Bellinelli in for Ben McLemore. Kicks it to Bellinelli. Sacramento moving it around. Takes the three. And Butler gets it to go on the assist by Collison.
The offense has clearly kicked into gear. The question, though, is it just a little too late?
Yeah, I think it may be, Greg. At least they're finally showing some signs of life offensively. Too bad I think it's past the point where it'll do much good.
Didn't take their time in wrapping this game up. They came out with a sense of urgency.
Nice ending spurt to polish it off. Once they had him on the ropes, they started throwing haymakers at him.
The whole knockout blow.
For three, Westbrook on the money.
And really no better feeling than to go on the road and play this well and get the win.
Yeah, it's always a good win when you play the kind of game they...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, and now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook. He had just an outstanding fourth quarter performance. He really had the fire lit under him, and down the stretch, really having a huge impact on the outcome of this game.
He was an assassin from the three-point line tonight. A very good percentage for him out there, and a grand total of 8.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.